We talk about artificial intelligence a lot, right? And usually we describe it as a tool, a kind of super advanced hammer for humanity. But what if that's not the whole story? What if in building this so-called tool, we're actually building a mirror? And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures this feeling that the very thing we're building is turning its gaze back on us. It's forcing us to ask some really fundamental questions about our own minds. So today, we're going to explore that reflection, both the incredible ambition behind AI and the very strange challenges it's creating for us.
You see, the whole modern AI project is really driven by this massive two-part ambition. On one hand, yeah, it's about tackling the biggest problems we face as a species, climate change, disease, you name it. But on the other hand, there's this much deeper, almost philosophical quest going on, the quest to finally understand ourselves.
And this isn't just some abstract idea. I mean, just look at the U.S. Department of Energy's Genesis mission. This is a real thing, a huge national push to use AI for everything from discovering new materials to making our energy grid more secure. The ambition here is just enormous.
And check out who's involved. This isn't just some government R&D project. It's a massive team-up between the public and private sectors. You've got all the heavy hitters here: Google, NVIDIA, OpenAI. This isn't just a research initiative. It's a full-on, civilization-level effort.
So, the goal of solving practical problems is pretty clear, but what if that's just the tip of the iceberg? What if the true, maybe unstated, goal of creating artificial intelligence is way, way bigger and a lot more personal? And this is where we get to that deeper goal: mirroring the mind. The big bet here is that by creating an artificial intelligence, what we're really building is a kind of flight simulator, but for consciousness. The idea isn't to replace ourselves, but to build something we can hold up like a mirror to see how we actually work. This all comes down to a core belief, something you hear from people like Dimas Hassavas at DeepMind. The philosophy is basically this: if you can truly simulate something, whether it's a protein folding or a thought process, then you've achieved the deepest possible level of understanding. You haven't just copied it, you've uncovered the fundamental rules that make it tick. And our simulation is already giving us some fascinating clues. Today's AI has what experts call jagged intelligence. It can pass the bar exam one minute, and then the next, it fails at basic subtraction. It's wild. And this highlights a huge difference. A human usually knows when they're not sure about something. An AI often has no clue. That little gap right there, that's a huge piece of the puzzle of our own minds.
So we're on this incredible quest, building this powerful mirror to finally understand ourselves. But what if looking into that mirror comes with a hidden cost? What if there's a serious paradox at the very heart of this entire project?
And this is it, the generation paradox. The fear is that the very tool we're building to make us smarter might, in some ways, be weakening the cognitive muscles we need to think in the first place. This idea is actually ancient. It goes all the way back to Socrates. He worried that the invention of writing would give people the illusion of knowledge without the real understanding. Today, psychologists call this the generation effect. And the key insight is that the struggle, the effort it takes you to actually form the words and connect the ideas yourself, that's not a bug. It's the entire feature. It's literally how we learn. Think about it like this. Anyone can trace a drawing, right? The final picture looks pretty good, but you haven't actually learned how to draw. You've just copied the motions. To really learn, you have to stare at that blank page and struggle through it. That struggle is what builds the actual skill inside your brain. And this isn't just a metaphor. This has real physical consequences. Neuroscientists studied London taxi drivers, the ones who had to memorize the entire city, and found that the part of their brain for spatial memory, the hippocampus, was literally bigger than average. But for drivers who switched over to using GPS, that same part of the brain actually shrank. When you outsource a mental skill, the hardware that supports it can start to waste away. And we're already seeing this exact effect with generative AI. In an MIT study, students used AI to help write essays. Just minutes later, they were tested on what they wrote. Get this, a staggering 83% of them couldn't recall a single sentence from the thing they had just created. The information went in one ear and out the other because their brains skipped the struggle. And there's a collective cost to this too. Evaluators found that these AI-assisted essays were, grammatically perfect and well-structured, but they kept being described as hollow or soulless. They all started to sound the same, lacking any unique point of view.
When we all use the same tool to generate our ideas, we risk making our collective thoughts a lot less diverse. So, where does that leave us? Should we just smash the machines and go back to doing long division by hand? Of course not. But it does mean we need to think really, really carefully about our role. If AI is the thing that provides all the answers, what's left for us to do?
And that leads us to the solution. In a world where answers are becoming cheap, almost free, our most valuable skill, the thing that makes us human, is the ability to ask a truly great question. To really get this, you have to see the new division of labor. AI is absolutely brilliant at what's called convergent thinking, taking an idea that already exists and refining it, optimizing it, finding the single best answer. But we humans excel at divergent thinking, that messy, creative, unpredictable leap to a brand new idea that nobody had even thought of before. So here's maybe the simplest way to put it. AI is a continuation engine. It takes what we've already done and remixes it, refines it, continues it. But human intelligence, at its very best, is an origination engine. Our job isn't to finish the thought, it's to start it.
And this changes everything about what work even means. It's not about crafting the perfect final essay or report anymore. Now, the real creative act, the place where all the value lies, is in crafting the perfect input. The prompt, the initial question, that weird connection only you could possibly make, that is the work now. Ultimately, the one thing left for us, the one thing that can't be automated away, is what Damas Hassabis calls our insatiable curiosity, that restless, deep-down desire to ask why and what if. That doesn't become obsolete in the age of AI. It becomes exponentially more valuable. It's the fuel that feeds the entire machine. And that really brings us to the heart of the matter. As answers become a commodity available to anyone, questions become our currency. Your ability to frame a problem in a totally new way, to see a connection no one else saw, that is the defining human skill of the future. So I'll just leave you with this thought. An AI can answer almost any question you can think of, but all of its knowledge is based on the past, on everything humans have already created. Your unique experiences, your weird perspective, your curiosity, that's what allows you to ask the questions that lead to a future that nobody, not even a super intelligent AI, can predict.